I'm here to support President Trump. You want to know why I'm here to support President Trump? Because they done did black men like this for decades. Make up charges and put them, so I know Trump is innocent. I support Trump against this corrupt, two-tiered justice system. That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump. And I'm wearing my shirt for Trump 2024, and I mean that.
Yeah. This is the sadness. This too is the sadness of white supremacy.
What do you think about the indictments?
Oh, it's a bunch of bull. It's going around the country. You know, Fannie Willis, she went to school with my sister. She was full of. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do. That's what I think about her, making a fool of herself.
But before I get into this video, let me make one thing clear. The ready use of the N-word by black men, black people in general, is extremely different than the context in which you see it displayed. One, on this man's shirt for the enjoyment of white people. Two, by the way white people use that word. NIGGA started popping up in the 60s. And while there's great divide in our community about how we feel about the use of the N-word, it is never acceptable to be used for the detriment or to the detriment of black people. And it's definitely never acceptable for other people, like the person in the background saying, this is my N-word. That is never acceptable, and it is white supremacy at its best.
Do you think it's going to help his election?
Of course it is. It's going to elevate him all the way. I think we should make Trump king. That's how I feel. We should make him king.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like communistic?
No, that's nowhere near communist. Now, we're just going to make him king, but we still got our freedoms and rights and everything. He for that. Yeah, Trump for king 2024.
That's actually my URL. I own that URL.
You own that URL?
Can I get your name?
Really? Oh, my name is for Trump 2024.
I can't
Derek
write that.
Gibson, former.
But this man behavior is also a byproduct of white supremacy, where one falls in love with his captor, his oppressor, more so than they do their own self.
And when I hear people saying, well, forget the nuts, I'm saying insurrection, they shouldn't have been at this nuts. This is the same way that they did black people during slavery and after slavery. They would do them just like that for fighting for your freedom and your rights. They would take these same tactics and they would use them against you to paint you as some kind of rambunctious idiot or whatever. And that's what they're doing with the people locked up now in D.C. on January the 6th.
And it displays not just in this person, but throughout the history of this experiment we call America, because the peculiar institution we call slavery that existed not just in the southern spaces, but it was also upheld by the northern banks and the factories in Boston that processed the slave cotton. So this idea that slavery was this southern thing is a falsehood that we need to put to sleep. And we can also see in Derek Gibson, who was in the northern part of this country, when he ran for governor in New York, we know that this person has a horrible history of hating himself, being a byproduct of oppression and hating blackness, being anti-black as a member of the Proud Boys, as a believer of QAnon, partly probably why he was disqualified when he ran for governor in 2022, of governor of state of New York. But let's talk about it a little bit, the history that is black people showing up in this manner. I mean, if we consider some of the revolts, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman's work, and others like Demarc Vesey, a lot of people hear less about Demarc Vesey than that of Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman. But Demarc Vesey was planning Bastille Day revolt amongst black people, black enslaved people, using black sailors that were freed, that were part of navies from other states to help black people escape South Carolina and go to Haiti, where they could be free and safe. And this attack was thwarted by two black people involved with the planning that leaked the information to the white authorities, who had then captured and hung, I should say, Demarc Vesey for trying to fight for black freedom. There's nothing about this man's behavior that is different than those two people who snitched about the planned attack. There's nothing different from this man's behavior than those who worked against Harriet Tubman. There's nothing different than this man's behavior than those who worked against Nat Turner. The freedom of blackness has always been in opposition of those who prefer whiteness over black people. And yes, some of those people happen to be black. It didn't just stop with slavery, though. There's no disconnect between slavery and this man's behavior, with nothing in between. Consider that how the FBI used so many black people to raid the offices of the Black Panthers across this country in the 60s and kill and falsely imprison Black Panther members throughout the 60s to destroy this organization that was an organization that was designed to defend Black people against cops and the brutality that cops were exacting on our community. This man's behavior is not separated from that. So when people link or see this guy and think it's just some one-off idiot. No, there's a long history of this idiotic behavior, this self-hate behavior of Black people, Black men specifically, showing up in a manner that allow themselves to be used to the detriment of our community. The N-word in this manner, the N-word used by this man put on this shirt, it's nothing but a provocation and a continuation of this disgusting and dastardly behavior. I'm Mondale, and be more James Brown than Derek Gibson. Be Black and proud and not a self-hating Negro. Peace.